Information in the video is based on management's beliefs, and data shown are preliminary and subject to change. Acute myeloid leukemia, or AML, is a type of cancer that affects the blood and bone marrow and is characterized by the rapid growth of malignant white blood cells. There are approximately 160,000 people with AML worldwide, with about 20,000 newly diagnosed patients annually in the U.S. Unfortunately, effective treatment options are limited, and only 29% of people diagnosed survive beyond 5 years. In order to improve this overall long-term survival number, we need to focus on giving more patients access to potentially curative treatments. While the actual course of treatment can be complex and highly individualized, all AML patients are initially categorized based on their ability to undergo intensive chemotherapy. As a result, around 50% of patients are deemed fit for standard intensive first-line treatment, and the other 50% are deemed unfit. Those who are deemed fit are most often treated with the standard induction therapy of 3 days of intravenous doxorubicin or equivalent anthracycline and 7 days of intravenous cytarabine, also known as Ara-C. Only about 36% of these patients, or approximately 18% of overall AML patients, will have a durable complete response to first-line therapy, meaning the level of cancerous cells in their bone marrow has been reduced to 5% or less. At this point, they either qualify for a bone marrow transplant or hope for the remission to become long-lasting. Bone marrow transplants can be successful in as many as 80% of eligible patients. However, since so few patients actually get to this point, only a minor subset, equaling around only 14% of all AML patients, reach this positive outcome through the standard first-line pathway for fit patients. Looking back at the 50% of patients who were deemed unfit for first-line intensive chemotherapy treatment, these patients are usually treated with a combination of venetoclax and azacitidine, also known as Ven/Aza. The success rate in this group of patients is only around 37%, or approximately 19% of all AML patients, achieving a durable, complete response and qualifying for a bone marrow transplant or achieving long-term remission. Similarly, bone marrow transplants are successful in as many as 80% of these eligible patients. But again, only a small subset of the deemed unfit patients, approximately 15% of all AML patients, achieve this positive outcome. In recent years, the approval of new targeted therapies were expected to provide renewed hope to second-line patients and transform the way AML was treated. Unfortunately, success here has been relatively limited. 5 such drugs have been approved to date, but each is only relevant to a subset of AML patients who happen to have the requisite genetic mutation, and response rates are relatively low. In fact, less than half of second-line patients meet the qualifications, and at an average 21% CR rate, only about 13% of all second-line will achieve a durable, complete response as a result of currently available targeted therapies. And at similar bone marrow transplant success rates, this means only another 7% of the AML population is given a chance to beat their disease with a successful bone marrow transplant or lasting remission. This leaves about 58% of all AML patients who will ultimately succumb to their disease. Moleculin believes this is not an acceptable outcome and is advancing Annamycin, a next-generation, non-cardiotoxic anthracycline for the treatment of AML. Anthracyclines are an important class of first-line tools for physicians, and while effective, their maximum dose in patients is limited due to issues with cardiotoxicity. In multiple clinical studies, Annamycin has shown no signs of cardiotoxicity. allowing physicians to dose higher than currently set limits. Moleculin is working to make this important tool available to the approximately 58% of all AML patients who do not achieve a positive outcome with the current paths of treatment. In clinical trials, Annamycin in combination with Ara-C, also referred to as Anthracycline, has demonstrated the ability to generate a complete response in approximately 50% or more of second-line patients. If approved, Annamycin could more than double the number of second-line AML patients who achieve a positive outcome. Moleculin believes in better treatments and more tomorrows. For more information, please visit moleculin.com.